to give you guys Boruto manga chapter 56 entitled Code. This is my review, my analytical aspect review of this portion of the chapter. I just want to say this chapter was really good. I enjoyed this chapter. They're hyping up Code to a level that we need to see come to fruition. Like if you're gonna hype up somebody this much, don't let them be disappointed. Although the ending of this chapter just showcases why Code is that guy. Why Code is essentially the same age as Kawaki, but he does more and he is very, very capable. One of the best things about this chapter was Code putting limiters on himself. Code essentially weakening himself so he doesn't basically like be as strong or even stronger than Jigen. He was stronger than Delta. He was stronger than Boro. Code is a beast. He has a white karma. He was the only Kara member, outer or inner, to have a karma, albeit a white karma. It's already there. Everything is there. It's legit. It's up there and it's stuck now, bro. It's stuck. And we get to see Ida, who knows everything about the world. She kind of looks like Hinata. And almost like, she might even have a Byakugan. I don't even know. I know that she's like a robot or a cyborg, in their terms. And she's obviously might be like as strong, if not stronger than Jigen, because they were supposed to be disposed of, but Boro kept them, which is crazy. So an attack on the Lee Village could still happen. Like, there's so much that this story is going down. I didn't even know. Like, when you think it's in-game, it's not in-game. It's crazy. Although, I am kind of curious, Sumire was the cover art for this chapter. And while I'm not upset or mad or anything like that, I think it's cool. She didn't really play a factor besides the beginning of the chapter when she's like helping Kawaki with his arm and whatnot. And Kawaki's like, hey, do you like Boruto? And she basically says, yeah. And then she's basically looking on at Amato and Kawaki's conversation, especially when Amato's like, hey, Kawaki. And he's like, never mind, we'll talk later. She kind of gets that look just like she did last chapter. So I don't know if that's leading up to something that Sumire is going to find out and eventually tell Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, all of them about Amato, or I don't know. I thought she'll play a bigger role in this chapter, particularly just because she did the same thing essentially last chapter. She didn't. I feel like this definitely probably could have been anybody else. Maybe Boruto, Kawaki. It could have been anybody else. Sumire, though, I don't mind. But I just thought she'll play a bigger role in this chapter in particular. She didn't really, but she's there. It's cool. It kind of aligns with the Sumire episode with Kawaki and whatnot, and then how this came out. It was like perfect timing. It's like, it really goes to show how much the anime and the manga coincide, and they work literally hand in hand together. Like, it's like this, like two peas in a pod, other sides of the bread, quarter, head, tails, all that stuff. Same sides of the coin, same coin, all that. All that stuff. That's what the anime and manga is regarding Boruto. But this chapter, man, this chapter was good. There was a lot to talk about in this chapter, ironically. A lot to talk about. For example, Boruto and Kawaki are talking about possibly Boruto implanting his karma into somebody else, but not just anybody else. Implanted it in Code, who also has a white karma, and that seems interesting enough. I don't even know how they're even going to go about that. But then at the end of that, they're talking about they're going to train, so that's going to be dope. Boruto was actually doing an interview because I guess a lot of people saw him use space-time ninjutsu and send Ishiki out of the village, so they kind of claim him as like the little mighty hero who saved the village, get a little bit of publicity. His also his movements, everything's been watching. So I'm very curious to see, because right now Naruto and Shikamaru decided to not tell anybody about Boruto and him having karma or all that stuff. He can't go on he can't go on missions, Team 7 is on indefinite hiatus, but there's going to apparently be a Kage summit. I wonder if somebody's going to tell on Boruto and essentially bring up that, hey, he has a karma, he's basically Momoshiki's vessel, stuff like this. I wonder, and if that's going to bring up turmoil and basically lying and disloyal, all that stuff. I want to see if that act to see if it does happen. If it doesn't happen, then all right. But I think there's plans for that to happen. I see something happen. A lot of videos will be made this week. Please stay tuned. 5 Kage Summit is coming up. What? Code is taking out another cyborg. Her name is Ida. She kind of looks like Hinata. It almost feels like she's going to have a Byakugan. And how do you know everything of this world? Like, are you an Otsutsuki? Yet you're a cyborg. Do you have the blood of Otsutsuki? Like, what is it? Like, there's so much. So much that we could talk about in this chapter. Like, again, Cole putting limiters on himself, so he was really actually stronger than Jigen, but he did that so he wouldn't disobey, so he would continue to be loyal to Jigen, to Ishiki, who he reveals as like, or he reveres, as a god, respecting the Otsutsuki. There's so much. And Cole low-key was moving around a lot. He went to Boro's I guess basically his side of his field or whatever, and it was like in the snowy mountains. We saw how he fought. Like, the guy has a white karma, and he's strong. So it's just different. It's a whole. Boruto just opened the chest of everything now. Like, everything's gonna happen. What's gonna happen with Team 7? What's gonna happen with Boruto and Kawaki? Them training. Can they actually implant a real karma onto Code? What is going to happen? Is Code going to die when it happens, or is it Code gonna? What happens on that end? Code putting limiters on himself. Him actually being stronger than Jigen. You know what I'm saying? Than Jigen. That's crazy. Ida knowing everything. The Kage Summit. Sumire still having this little eye on Amato, like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this chapter was so heavy base, and you can't even know unless you just read it back again. Like, damn, this was a heavy base chapter. A lot of good dialogue, a lot of good conversational pieces, a lot of things that you can just move the story into different ways, different directions. There's so much that can be happening. The most I want to see and the most I'm excited about, I will say Ida's very exciting, but I'm very, and I mean very excited for the Kage Summit. Because I want to see if they basically tell the truth about Boruto, or somehow the villagers or the Kages know about Boruto and what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Are they going to let Boruto go on the loose? Can he even train? Like, stuff like that. Like, does he really have to be monitored 24/7? What's Naruto gonna do? They said their first priority is Code. So is Naruto gonna bring out like the Kage and they're gonna all go attack Code with Ida? Like, yo, there's so much can happen. So much can happen in the next chapter next month. I am very, very excited. I honestly, I'll break this down like tomorrow, because I'm going to talk about the 5 Kage. I'm going to talk about Ida, or possibly having a Byakugan. I'm going to talk about Boruto Kawaki training and seeing if Kawaki still is on the same level that he is on, even though he doesn't have karma. I'm going to talk about so much. How does Kawaki even get his karma? Does Code somehow give him a karma while Boruto trying to give Code the karma? Like, what is going to happen? Is it going to be one of those things, since they are on the only 3 people right now, or technically only 2 people, Code and Boruto, to have karma, but Kawaki's obviously compatible? Very, very interesting. Very interesting. I love the backstory with Code, how we see that he was actually another person that was alive, and he did the whole implant. He did basically the same thing Kawaki did, but instead he wasn't compatible with the real karma, but he still had a karma, and he was actually the same age as Kawaki, which is crazy because this nigga looked like at least an 18, 19, 20-year-old adult. He's 15, same age as, or 15 or 14, same age as Kawaki. Crazy. This chapter was great. I hope you guys enjoyed. I want to talk about this a little bit more, sit down, have an analytical aspect of it, and just break it down way more thoroughly. But I do want to talk about the 5 Kage. That's what I'm more excited about. I want to see what they're going to do with Boruto, if they're going to lie, if Naruto's going to protect his son regardless, if the villagers somehow know about it because the whole because of the whole outer Kara members. What's going to happen? But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until then, I'm going to see you guys later. Peace out.